Patello.
And I'm Leo Laporta. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, that camera.
What? Who? Right there.
I'll teach you.
You will?
In a moment, how to create your own Linux installation disk.
Really?
Yes.
Will you?
As soon as I figure it out for myself.
Well, okay then. So maybe you need a couple moments.
No, I can do this in my sleep.
Yeah.
I do that every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Especially for all those people you promised Linux disks to.
They all got them.
Yep. That's what you say. Hey,
3 months later, but they got them.
They got them. Got W-2s? Huh? Yes, you did. And you're probably thinking taxes. We're going to have a news group recommendation to make your tax season a little easier. And we say yours because we're done.
This is mean. But
we're mean.
We both have already
We're
filed
done. We're all done.
Electronically?
Online.
Online?
Oh, yes.
That's amazing.
That's the way to go, folks.
Amazing. Then later, manage your digital media with a new... It's because we make so little money. It takes like 3 seconds to figure out. With a new digital tool from Voquette. I love this product. You're going to love this yourself. It's on today's Frontier.
All right. What does it have? You go to the tax site and it just says, oh, just give me $1.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, you know what they do? They go, that's all you make? Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, just
never
here's
mind.
$1.
Yeah.
Go away.
Here's $1 going. All right, before
you don't have to file.
If I give you $1, does that mean? Never mind. Before we introduce today's topic in the chat room, let's check out the final results.
I'll go away.
Well, I don't happen to have $1, so you're going to have to stay right here. Our last poll, what place does the gaming box have in your home?
Wow.
4% replace the TV, 63% next to the TV, and hey, you crazy kids, get off my lawn! 33%.
A third of you want the kids off the lawn.
You kids.
Today in the chat room, we're asking you, is
Intel getting off of Microsoft's lawn?
Every time we say Intel, I think we're going to hear that today.
That's like Bunting's window. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Okay. Is Intel giving up on Microsoft?
Here's what we're talking about. Intel, as you probably know, is an investor. It's going to get old real soon. An investor in Red Hat Linux.
Yes.
They are really supportive of Linux. Intel, Hewlett-Packard, and IBM have teamed up with a bunch of Linux vendors, and they are ready for the new Intel chip, the Itanium, formerly known as the Merced or P7 or IA64 chip. This is Intel's hot new 64-bit chip that's going to be out later this year. Microsoft says it's doing an operating system for it as well. But I think Intel, having been burned once by Microsoft, which didn't come up with a 32-bit operating system fast enough for Intel's liking.
Now, explain that. I thought that was fascinating. There was a problem between Intel and the Windows operating system.
The Pentium Pro. Here's what happened. Intel went to Microsoft, and they had some behind closed doors meetings, said, all right, look, we want to do a 32-bit chip, okay? But our 32-bit chip, we're going to make it optimized for 32-bit code. It's not going to work well on 16-bit code. Microsoft, you're going to have a true 32-bit operating system for us by that time, aren't you? Microsoft said, no problem, we'll get it for you. We'll get it, whatever you want.
Just like that, too.
So Intel comes out with the Pentium Pro, an awesome chip that's great at 32-bit code, but literally chokes on 16-bit code. It slows it down by like 50 times. It goes.
So everybody was blaming their processor.
Everybody blamed Intel because Microsoft's Windows 98, actually this was Windows 95, had tons of 16-bit code on it. Didn't run well at all on it.
So they want something optimized for their fastest processor so you can get the most out of it.
Intel, I think, is this project to do a Linux is done. Well, practically, when Intel ships the P7, there will be a Linux, 64-bit Linux, ready to go. It's called the Trillium Project. It's going to be ready to go for the Itanium. And I think what it says is Intel said, we're not going to trust Microsoft this time. We're going to make sure we have a 64-bit OS ready when our hardware comes out.
Well, all right.
You know what that means?
What?
It means that Wintel Alliance is a little shaky.
So it'll be Lintel.
I like that.
That's what we were talking about in the meeting today. So, is Intel giving up on Microsoft? You're clicking?
I say not giving up, but I think they're hedging their bets.
Is there a hedging their bets option?
All right, I'll say yes.
All right, because I think they're hedging their bets.
They're giving up on trusting Microsoft.
Okay, well then we're going to go ahead and click yes. They're going to give up on thinking Microsoft rules utterly. I didn't even say it! What do you think? Take the web poll to screensavers.com, and of course, while you're there, click on the talkback feature, because, we love to hear whatever it is you have to say about anything, really. We're fascinated with all of it.
Give us a call, 888-989-7879, or chat with us at chat.zdnet.com. We're in the screensavers room.
Right. Or, of course, if you've got a net cam, you want to be on television, click on the net cam Cineplex.
I want to be on television.
Look at the luminaries in there. Wouldn't that be fun? Someday maybe you and I
could do a TV show together.
And we could quit just standing here in a basement talking to
nothing, to the wall. That was our dream. We did that for years.
Yeah.
And,
finally somebody agreed to pay us
put a camera down here.
To stand in a basement and talk to the wall. Anyway, look in there. Look in this room. You see this? You got Shannon and Brad.
What are they doing?
And Roger and Kevin. What are you guys doing in there?
They're
blowing us kisses, and they're not answering.
They're looking a little goofy.
Aren't they cute? Earn yourself a magnet, as seen on our fridge. There's Cassandra and her darling Winnie the Pooh. That would be her husband and her son. All right, Cassandra's family.
Galen joins us on the ZDTV3Com Netcam Network from Ruston, Louisiana. Hello, Galen.
Hi, Galen.
Hi, how are y'all?
We're great.
Very well.
How are you?
I'm fine. I love y'all's show. Been looking forward to getting on.
Is that your jersey back there, number 53?
Yes, sir, it is. It's from high school.
That's great.
All right.
What position did you play?
I played left guard.
All right.
Excellent.
I was about 110 pounds heavier then, but...
Man.
Wow.
How'd you lose all that weight?
Well, actually, I stopped eating.
That'll do it.
I stopped eating. I ate maybe twice a day and did a lot of exercising, so...
Stop eating, huh? I'll have to try that someday.
Stop eating and exercise.
Nah.
And plus, I came to college and I don't cook for myself anymore.
Where do you go to school?
I mean, I cook for myself. I go to Louisiana Tech.
All right. You playing football there?
No, sir. I'm an architecture major. And
got to protect the hands, baby.
That's right.
Freshman 15 from the dorm food? I swear they used to, spray the salad at SF State with starch. Freshman 15 pounds you gain from eating dorm food.
Really?
Oh, yeah. From spraying all the starch on the salad bar so you won't eat too much.
Let's do some computer show talk stuff.
But, that.
Galen, you got a question for us?
Yes, sir. I watched last night and I saw there's a guy on about having problems with system resources.
Yeah.
And mine, I've had real bad problems with it locking up and the system resources going down to 20%. And I did the same mistake that he started. I've upgraded to 288 megabytes of RAM.
Thinking that would help your system resources.
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And did it?
Actually, no. The system resources do about the same.
Yeah.
Too much RAM could slow you down.
No, well, if you don't have cache for it, but I think most modern machines are going to... What kind of machine do you have, a Pentium 3?
Yes, sir. I've got a Pentium 3 500 in it.
Yeah. So, but what you discovered, as we said yesterday, that it's not about running out of memory. And that happens a lot. People confuse resources with memory. Resources are in memory, but they're an area of memory that is not... that is limited. So adding more memory is not going to increase the amount of resources available.
Mm-hmm.
And I even thought that upgrading to a Pentium 3 with more cache would help it, and it didn't help.
It's something you're using. It's some program you're using. Let's just quickly check. The easiest way to see system resources available is actually right-click on My Computer, select Properties, and go to, is it the Performance tab? Yeah, System Resources. Now, this is a normal machine that's just been recently started, 84% free. That's pretty normal. If you want to monitor long-term, there's a System Resource Monitor in the Programs, Accessories, System Tools folder. It's called it's called Resource Meter. All right, I'm going to show you that it's down here, and if we double-click on it, you'll see the resources. Now, let's just show you what happens as I start to open programs. Those resources are going to go down.
Now, the GDI resources were partly what we were talking about with menu handles, all of that stuff that can open or not open.
It's combined. They have GDI and user resources. Now, in the old days of Windows 3.1, this was a horrible problem. I mean, they would just disappear
all the time.
Right and left, and Windows would crash. And then I remember when Windows 95 came out, one of the demos they did on the introduction of Windows 95 was, watch, we're going to run 100 programs, look at our system resources, just as I'm doing now. Oh, they're fine. But what happened, and they are fine, by the way, I have now America Online, Netscape, and Internet Explorer open.
Until you close them and reopen them again, it may or may not release those resources.
Well, then that's one thing. Now, I'll tell you right now, I have to sign up for AOL. I don't want to sign up for AOL. One thing...
Just cancel!
Yes, I want to stop. Let's just see here. Well, now we have 66% free, but we've got a lot of things running. Now, one thing you should know, and actually I did some research last night after the show on this, Microsoft admits that when you close Microsoft Office applications, resources do stay in memory. And that's because of this feature Microsoft introduced where the programs launch faster. The way they launch faster is they leave part of themselves in memory still.
Oh, so that's a feature.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Right.
But I've got a lot of programs open now, and I'm still not anywhere near 20%. 20% is not going to kill you, Galen, but it's when you get down to 10% and less that the machine becomes very crashy.
That's what happened to me, and in fact, right now, just by running NetMeeting, I'm at 64%.
What have you got running in the background there, Galen? Like, if you're running MS, what's in your system tray right now?
I have emptied out my system tray. My startup is empty. I downloaded the startup organizer I saw on Call for Help the other day.
Yeah.
I downloaded that, and I emptied that out.
Wow.
And,
okay.
So,
Galen, did your system work great one day and then something changed and then you started running out of resources? I mean, was there something that changed that? Can you remember?
Actually, I used to have an older computer and this started happening, and I built my own computer.
Trying to fix it.
Trying to fix it, yes, sir. And
wow.
And actually, since you said that about Office, it's kind of funny. It does it when I run my Work Suite 2000. So that's when that in Netscape 4.7 I have trouble. It has trouble releasing that memory. So
there you go. And so what you got to do is track down those programs. Now I have opened I don't know how many programs here, and I'm still at 53% free, and I'm including NetMeeting, Netscape. I've got 8, 9, 10 programs open right now.
2 different browsers.
And I'm still in pretty good shape. Now I imagine if I close all of these, I'm not going to have as much memory or resource free as I did.
Right.
There's a program I want you to try. Now this is an Analog X program. It's free, as most of Analog X's programs are. And it is a memory manager that is theoretically going to free memory. Now, I haven't talked to Mark to find out, but I'm wondering if this program might also help you with resources. It should in theory. It's called MaxMem, and you can get it on his website, analogx.com. Why don't you help? Gail, we obviously don't have an answer. We're sharing this is you sharing your pain.
And us trying to help you troubleshoot, sort of.
And we're talking about the problem. And as I mentioned last night, this question comes in cycles. So I'm always suspicious of the problem that crops up all of a sudden. And we're starting to get that question again. So I'm thinking it's either something Microsoft put in Windows 98 Update.
Or a new release of something.
Release of maybe Netscape or something. Or, is there something that people are starting to use now that's causing this? Try that MaxMem, Galen. Get back to me and let me know if that helped for you.
Good call.
Okay. I appreciate it.
And what I'm going to ask you and everybody else to do, let's track this down. Let's find out what this is. Now, I'm in good shape here. I still have 47% free, and things are humming. I'm going to keep opening files until I can kill this machine. But this is not your experience, is it, Galen? You'd be down to 10 or 20% by now.
Oh, most definitely. I've had window errors come up that say out of memory, and the system will just completely shut down.
I want you to move your swap file too. That's going to be the last thing I'm going to tell you to do. Do you have your machine in a couple of partitions?
The hard drive? No, I have full 13 gigs.
Okay.
Open.
I suggest that you make yourself a partition, make a separate partition just for your swap file. Okay?
Okay.
Now, then you go in to manage the virtual memory. Right-click on my computer, go down to Properties, bring up System Performance. Assign double the amount of your RAM. Okay, 2 times your RAM as the hard size for your swap file. Try that, because my machine was giving me a really hard time. I did that, and it made a world of difference. So try that, too, in conjunction with everything else, okay?
We've got to wrap up because we're out of time. But there's one other thing you just said that's, I think, very interesting. You have a 13-gig hard drive unpartitioned. That's your C drive?
Yes, sir.
You know
Should
what?
I have partitioned it?
Partition that.
You know what? Maybe you've hit on something
Maybe
here.
he's got an LBA problem.
In order to keep track of everything on your hard drive, the whole fat has to be loaded into memory. Because you have such a big hard drive there, I'm wondering if partitioning would fix that.
That's a really good call.
And that may be why we're hearing this again, because people are getting new computers with huge hard drives.
Right.
So let's see if we can track that one down, Galen. But that's another possibility.
Distinctly.
All right? Hey, I thank you for the call. We're going to you work with us, will you, Galen?
I sure will.
And let's see if we can track this down. And I'm sorry you spent all that money, but you got a great machine now.
Partition that thing, do the MaxMem, call us back, tell us how it works. Good luck, Galen.
I think 2 to 4 gig partitions might really fix it.
Yep, I bet it might. After the break, tax help in this week's news group recommendation when the Screensavers continues.
It's time once again for News Groove. This week's recommendations, Miss.Taxes. Hey, 'tis the season to file taxes, to pay Uncle Sam, and you want to be informed about e-filing, tax software that'll help you file online or do your taxes on your computer, tips to make your tax season stress-free. It's all available at Miss.Taxes, although I'd be careful about the advice you get from Miss.Taxes. Remember, these are just regular, everyday people, but you can share a lot of information. Well, I wouldn't take tax advice from somebody I met on the news.
Well, no, but if you take tax advice like, what does this square mean on my form?
That's
maybe
good.
Someone else
That's
knows.
good. Miss.Taxes, and of course you'll find a link to all the news groups at thescreensavers.com.
All right. Let's talk to Ernie now, who's joining us on the phone from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, Ernie.
Hey, guys.
How
you doing?
Oh, fine.
Okay.
All right, thanks for calling. Nice talking to you.
I got a question.
Okay, shoot.
Okay, I'm going to be building myself an Athlon pretty soon.
Yeah,
All right.
baby.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the gigahertz chip to come out at the end of this month.
All right.
Oh, my.
But
Why not?
Why not?
I want to know if I want to go with ATA 66 or SCSI.
Well, its price, SCSI will be faster, but it's really up to you on the price. If your ATA 66 is great, that's what we're going to put in Kate's computer, is what I got in my computer.
Mm-hmm.
You can get faster, but you have to go to Ultra 2 at the very least, or maybe Ultra 160 to get anything faster than the ATA 66. The ATA 66 spec is great. It's faster. The drives are new drives. They're all at 7,200 RPM or faster. They all are large caches, and the new interface really, unlike ATA 33, which made no difference, 66 does make a difference. So I'm very happy with my 66s. If you want to get the fastest, greatest drives, get 10,000 RPM drives in the Ultra 2 specifications. Can set you back at least $1,000 for the controller and the drive.
Oh, my goodness.
For a 10 or 13 gig drive, but that will be the ultimate in speed. Yes. So it's really a price performance issue.
Yeah, well, I am currently using Windows 2000, and I like it a lot.
Oh, I love it. And it will run great on that Athlon. You can get a great ATA 66 motherboard and drive, and the drives are $150, $200. The motherboard, it's just a regular motherboard. That's a lot less than $1,000 for a SCSI card and a drive.
That much difference.
But if I do get ATA 66, I've already got the drives I want picked out.
There you go. So it's really simple. Yes, SCSI is faster. You have to get Ultra 2 or better to get a faster speed, and it's going to cost you. Okay?
Okay.
I'd say be happy with the 66. It's great.
Yeah, I'm sticking with mine.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
All right. Coming up next, new answers to your toughest computer problems and a whole lot more. We're going to see if we can crash that machine. We're down to 20% resources.
All right.
And we're going to open some more. When the Screensavers continues. Come on, let's open more files. 13%.
Screensavers.com. You know what that is, don't you?
What's that?
Don't you?
I don't. What is it?
Well, it's the best place for more information on the show, don't you know?
Oh,
Just check out Show and Tell, where you'll find the complete story of our friend Ogum Maktu, and, of course, video clips from all of our recent shows. TheScreensavers.com.
By the way, in Ogum Maktu, Ultra 2, Cheetah drives.
Yes.
So we did put, because it's the ultimate.
Well,
right?
that was Ogum.
We did put very.
What did we spend on that machine? $14,000? Something outrageous.
Yeah, $14,000. Fast drives make a difference in terms of loading in the software, and of course that's nice. Matt joins us, our next caller on the Screensavers. I think it's Matt. Are you there?
Yep.
Hey, Matt, where are you calling from?
Oriskany, New York.
Oriskany! Upper New York State.
Oriskany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that.
I don't know where that is.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Right near Utica.
He's right near you. I was going to say Utica Club. Home of Utica Club.
Yeah.
Matt's going, oh, he's a party animal. So, Matt, what can we do for you?
Okay, I've got a CDR drive,
Yes.
and I've been fooling around with the CD rewritables.
Okay.
And the current software I'm using is Prezi ABCD. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yep.
And
It came with your drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it only allows you to you can drag and drop files on the machines you have the CDR with.
Right. It's called packet writing software.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you can't use the CD rewritables on any other machine unless you have the software on it.
That's right.
What I was wondering is if there's any software where you can run the software with the machine with the CDR on it, and if you can just read as like a regular CD.
Only if you use write at once instead of packet writing.
Oh, okay.
In order to read, we had this question once before. In order to read a packet written CD, you have to have packet writing software on the other machine because it's using a not non-standard, but a different file format called UDF, Universal Data Format. Now, here's an interesting test. It might well read on a DVD drive because guess what? DVDs use UDF. So if you have a machine with a DVD drive, you probably can read that packet-written CDRW. But a standard CD without the software, I don't even know if most standard CDs won't even read the CDRW. But some will, and if you happen to have the hardware capability, you're also going to need the software capability. We're going to talk a little bit about ISO 9660. That's the standard format for CDs. When you burn a CD on a CD recorder all at once, you're using ISO 9660. That can be read by anything. When you do it with packet writing, it's UDF, and that can only be read by another UDF-enabled machine or by a DVD drive.
That's one of the things we told the viewer to do. We told her to, because she was making copy the software, because she was just making CDs like for her mom.
Right.
So we just said, well, get the copy of the software for your mom, and then you'll be able to read them.
You may have trouble again, because not all. I can't remember, but I think multi-session drives will read CDRW, but I'm not sure. So you have to make sure that the hardware can do it too. It's funny. I have to check into that. It's been a while since I've looked into that. Okay.
All right.
So that's the issue. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for calling in. Hey, don't start flipping. Still to come on this. Wow, 10. Still to come on this very show. Learn how to create and burn. Are you okay? Your own Linux CD. Also, more computing problems and our clever solutions. Plus, you can do a better job of managing your digital media with a new software tool from Vocat. All that and more as the Screensavers rolls on. Go, Leo. Go down. Welcome back to the Screensavers, nice folks. I'm Kate Patello, and also the not nice folks. Yo, dude.
And I'm Leo Laporte. Yo, dude.
Yo, dude.
Today in the chat room, we're asking you: is Intel giving up on Microsoft? Do you have a Microsoft sound? No, I didn't think so.
No, I think we don't.
So we're chatting about that. That's because Intel is supporting a Linux for the next generation chip and not waiting for Microsoft to come up with a 64-bit Windows. Now, we were talking, speaking of Microsoft Windows, we were talking about running out of resources. And this, you want to do that? When do you want to do that? Oh, okay. So let's talk about the poll a little bit.
All right, let's talk about the poll a little bit more.
So is that enough background?
Optimized for the...
They're doing Trillium, which is a 64-bit Linux. It's actually already in its first release. It will certainly be out in time for the Itanium when it comes out later this year. That's the P7/Merced chip. Intel developed it based on HP's PA RISC chip. It's a very hot new chip, but because it's 64-bit, Intel's concerned that Microsoft's not going to have an operating system that uses it.
That'll choke, that won't choke.
Yeah, or won't even run on it. So, because remember, it's not an x86 processor architecture. It's a whole new architecture, IA64. So Intel and HP and IBM and a number of Linux companies have gotten together. They're doing a Linux. They got it. It's ready. It's running. It works on Itanium. Does this mean the end of the line for the Wintel Alliance? What do you think?
Take the web poll. Let us know. Screensavers.com. And, of course, while you're there, click on the Talkback feature and just tell us how you'd feel about the world of Wintel versus Lintel.
Lintel.
Lintel. We just,
Chat with us at chat.zdnet.com. Now, let's quickly just show you.
All right.
I've opened 25 programs. We've got 9% free. That's about as low as you can go. And by the way, notice how much memory we're using here. 183 megabytes of memory in use. This is our system memory monitor. We've got a swap file that is in pretty constant use. We're using all 122 megs of the swap files, you might imagine. And browsing, as you might imagine, is kind of slow. When I click on it, it's not too bad.
Too bad. It's just
feeling
if you're switching between apps.
Switching windows.
You'd have the other toolbar left right in the middle of the page.
Now, what I'm going to start... we finally got this. 90% or more of your system resources are in use. So what I'm going to do is quick programs. Let's see how much of that we can recover.
Okay.
Let's see if it'll even let me start closing these programs. And remember, I said that Microsoft Office is not nice about releasing resources. That's actually intentional. It's part of, we're up to 19% free. It's part of Microsoft Office's design to make it load faster. It leaves parts of itself in memory, so they'll be there the next time you load. I'm closing down. We're getting down. Let's see how many resources we've got left now. 56 free. This is actually pretty encouraging.
It's actually recovering really well.
It's recovering very well. It's better than one would expect. Remember, we started in a fresh, restarted machine with 85K free, and now by closing everything, we've recovered up to 73% free. Let me close the last 75%. The last thing. Notice, by the way, how much memory has been released by all of this. Although the swap file size hasn't gone down because it's static. Now we're back up to 76% free, which is actually pretty darn good. Certainly operable. The only way, by the way, to recover any memory that you didn't recover by closing Windows is restarting the machine.
That's why we very often tell people if you work on your computer all day anyway, you might want to go ahead and reboot midday. Just to clean out all the resources.
And certainly daily.
Yes, certainly daily. Give it a fresh brain. Don't leave the thing on all the time and expect that it's not going to crash on you. Let it refresh its brain. Even the computer needs to know.
That's one of the nice things about 2000 NT. You don't have to do that, but you do have to do that with N.
Yeah.
Now, this is good. Whatever was wrong with his machine is not wrong with our machine. Things are working right. This is what you want to have happen, and I feel fairly comfortable with this.
Okay.
So there's something different. I'm worried about that 13-gig partition. I think that might be it.
I'm thinking you may have hit on that.
Could be.
Let's ask Tim.
Tim's on the line from Salem, Oregon on the ZDTV 3Com Netcam network. Hello, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
What's up?
Nothing. Watching the screensavers, having a root beer.
Go figure.
What's up, Tim? What can we do for you?
True.
I'm looking for a product that reduces line noise. My internet connection's really slow.
So is your phone line, by the way. You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, so now by the way, that was great. That tells us it's your phone company. Because it's happening on voice line.
So how can he get a cleaner signal? Or do you live in a really... No, you're in Salem, Oregon. You're not in a particular...
Well, that's kind of small. You're in a fairly rural area, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not that bad.
I'm out in the country.
You're in the country?
Okay.
Well, that's one of the reasons why you have crackly lines. Now, here's the thing. The phone company's only obligated to give you good quality voice lines. They aren't obligated to give you good data lines.
Right.
But I'm hearing static. That is something you can go to the phone company about. If you have audible static...
I wonder if that has anything to do with the cordless.
Well, that might also.
Well, of course. If you're walking away from the... That's what it sounds like, feedback.
If you don't get it on a corded phone, then there's no recourse with the phone company.
Well, it sounds like a radio station.
That also could be it. Are you near radio towers?
Somewhat.
Yeah, that could be. What that is something else entirely called RF entering the line. All of that impacts your modem speed. The cleaner the line, the better the modem speed. Now, if it's radio stations, there are things you can put on your line to dampen that RF interference. And I don't mean covering it with tinfoil. There's actually RF reducers that you can put on the line. You go to Radio Shack and get those. You might call the radio station. Radio stations have an obligation under their license from the FCC to protect consumers from unnecessary RF.
Really?
If you're having trouble receiving a radio station in appliances or fillings, you can actually call the radio station.
Like Gilligan?
Have you ever had that happen?
Yeah.
It actually happens.
No, I haven't had that happen.
It happens to people.
I have no fillings.
You have no fillings?
No cavities. Ever.
You're kidding.
I know. Don't you just want to kick me now? I'm
I can't believe that. And she's already filed her income taxes.
I'm
Isn't
sorry.
She is just...
I'm
make
sorry.
me feel bad.
Look. For
Anyway,
heaven's
Tim,
sake.
so there's a couple of things you could do. Get the radio station's help. Put those RF reducers on. Clean up your line as best you can with the phone company's help. Finally, the modem does impact it. And if you look at the modem reviews in PC Magazine, you can go online, they actually rate them for their resistance to noise. Some modems are better than other modems.
Now, if it's very slow, do you think iSpeed might help him a little bit?
Yeah, anything you'll optimize will. Absolutely.
So download something like iSpeed, which will optimize your maximum transit unit, your MTU settings. That's the biggest chunk of data that can pass through that line at any time. And it'll help optimize it for your modem, for your line. So if I were you, I'd give that a try. Although remember that if you get high-speed access after you've been using iSpeed for a while, you need to return things back to the default because it writes to the registry and will slow you down.
You can't get DSL or cable modems in Salem, I take it.
We can. I just have a little agreement with my mom.
Not to spend $40 a month on online access?
Something like that.
Mom, Tim's future's at stake, Mom. Don't you want him to grow up and be Bill Gates and support you in your old age?
And my uncle says that, too.
Yeah, well, you just tell her Leah that Kate said that, too, okay?
Kate, blame it on me.
I threw her in there at the end.
That's helpful. Thanks.
Just to diffuse the responsibility. Hey, Tim, those are your answers. There's not much more that you can do than that.
Hey, Leo.
Yeah.
Thanks for putting the ZDTV fan site on your webpage.
Are you work with Darvis on that site?
Absolutely.
We love it. You guys do a great job. Go to leoville.com. It's the link at the bottom. Hey, thank you, Tim.
All right, Tim.
Good job on that site. Take care.
Will you, hey, you're not done yet.
We made Darvis do it.
Davis. Darvish. Will you take us to break?
You better do it, too.
Please.
Right on.
All right. Go.
All right. Thanks, Kate and Leo. Time to get organized and manage the digital media. Jim Ladderback has the software to do it when the screensavers continue.
Yeah.
That was just fabulous. Take it back. You know what that is, don't you? It's the best place for more information about what's on this here show. Take this week's Super Geek Challenge, all about the BIOS. Explore the BIOS. Of course, taking those 10 really, really difficult study questions. That's always good for a laugh at thescreensavers.com.
And congratulations to Curtis from Longview, Texas, winner of yesterday's Super Geek Quiz T-shirt or cap giveaway.
All right, congratulations to Curtis. Now make sure that you fill out the form after you've taken the quiz for your chance to win.
I think you hit a sailor.
Now, I know, sorry. Well, you hit the Swiss yesterday, and I hit a sailor now. As promised, here's Jim Louder back with a new way to manage digital media on today's Fresh Gator.
With internet music and MP3s just taking over, there have been a whole slew of new ways to organize and listen to audio files. And with the tons of different portable MP3 players to choose from, there are just as many ways to take that music with you on the go. Sharp has one more way to carry around your favorite tunes and internet audio with their Internet Mini Disc. It's a combination of Vocet's Media Manager software, Sharp's MD-MT15 portable mini disc player, and a Netlink cable. Media Manager pulls together and organizes audio content off the web, like real audio files, top news stories, or even MP3 files. Then, at the touch of a button, you can record all that content from your sound card in your computer right onto the Sharp mini disc player. You can even schedule the Vocat Media Manager to automatically download and record the audio programs you want to the mini disc player whenever you want. The nice thing about Media Manager is it helps you set up a playlist so you don't have to do all that work yourself. And you don't have to deal with all sorts of different media players either. Simply drag and drop any audio link from the web right into the Vocat Media Manager software, and that'll create your list. Now, the special Netlink cable puts a pass-through to the mini disc player from the PC's audio out, and it powers the mini disc player from the keyboard. But the truth is, you really don't need that cable. Just skip that and use a regular speaker cable, and you'll do the same thing. A Media Manager also promises to convert text files, like emails, memos, or even web stories, into voice so you can actually listen to them while you're on the go. We give the Vocat Netlink and Media Manager 3 out of 5 stars. It's $70 by itself, which means you can use it with other recorders like a cassette player or a Walkman, or it's $250 if you get it bundled with the Sharp MD-MT15 mini disc player. It's available now from Vocat's website.
A new Fresh Gear for you.
Yeah.
Every Friday afternoon at 1:30, 12:30 Central, right here on ZDTV.
We got an email from Mike. He asks, I recently downloaded an ISO image of Linux and burned it onto a CD in order to install it. When I went to use it, all it showed was an ISO image. Nothing I could use. Oh, I know what he did wrong. How do you turn that ISO image into something usable? We'll show you when the Screensavers continue. We got an email from Mike. He says, I recently downloaded an ISO image of Linux, burned it onto a CD in order to install it, but I used it and all I see was this ISO image. Nothing I could use. What do I do? I know. I just realized, what he did.
Exactly what he did.
First of all, let's talk about what an ISO image is.
All right, tell him what ISO means.
Equal in Greek. ISO.
That was good.
Like isobars, on a weather map, isobars are equal temperatures.
Or isotopes, which
pressure.
I think are particles of a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Or it stands for the International Organization of Standards. Except if you say it in French, it's International Standardization Organisation.
Oh, merci, d'accord.
ISE.
All right. Now, an ISO file, it's an image. We use Ghost on these machines.
Actually, stop. Let's talk before we get to that point.
Oh, we're not even
You're
there?
right. But let's say what ISO is in these terms is all CDs are, we were just talking about this, ISO 9660 is a standard for the CD format.
Okay.
So by shorthand, colloquially, we call an image of a CD an ISO image. Okay. So that's what you were talking about.
Yes, that is what
That's the shorthand for it. It's the same as if, here, give me you got like a soup packet or something? Here, that's fine. Give me oatmeal.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Do you have brown sugar cinnamon? This is apple.
Oh, I hate this.
Oh, for crying out loud. Thanks.
There we go. So this is good stuff, by the way. We get. By the way, you ever want to work at ZDTV? All the oatmeal you can eat. Free. So. Yeah,
but you don't get any milk for your coffee. Anyway, what are you talking about?
What do you want? You get free oatmeal.
Well.
So imagine, if you will, that you took a CD and you dehydrated it into this.
Right.
Now, instead of rehydrating it into good old-fashioned oatmeal, what did he do?
He tried to eat the whole packet.
He ate it like this.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Oh, that's terrible.
Did they say no snacking on the set earlier
Yeah,
today?
I just made a big mess.
The point is, he's
rehydrate.
he's got a big fat file that says inside, I am a mirror, I'm an image of all the files you need, but you actually have to tell it that there's something inside there, and it's not just a big package of dried oatmeal.
Actually, it's pretty tasty. All right, so, Anna, you know what? It was free.
Nutritious. Oh, it's free.
So, this is Linux Mandrake's site. This is the Mandrake Linux, is the one I like. And one of the reasons I like them is they publish their ISO images online, so you can download them. You can download the ISO image of the Mandrake. It is about 500 megabytes. In fact, we got a guy in the chat room who's been downloading an ISO image on a 28.8 modem for 2 days.
Oh, man.
Nonstop. And when you download it, you'll get this file, mandrake70.iso. We've done that. Let me show you. It's over here on our D drive. You need a big drive because it's huge. In this case, I think it's
500 meg. It should be 650.
This is 655 because it's actually an image of the drive, of the CD.
Okay, so now we've got this big fat file that inside of it has everything I need for a CD.
The key is to reconstitute. You can't just burn that. I'm going to open an Easy CD Creator. You can't just burn that onto a CD. You have to use a program that understands these images. And look, see here, under the File menu, Create CD from CD Image.
Okay.
And it'll open the standard CIF files, which is what Easy CD Creator uses, or an ISO file. And if I go to my D drive here, see, it sees the ISO file, and now I can burn that. Now, what that will do is reconstitute, rehydrate the thing.
Now we'll actually open the package.
That's right. This is another program. I use this program for burning. It's a $40 shareware program from Golden Hawk called CDR-Win. Same thing. This is a good program for experts because it talks about ISO files directly, and you can build an ISO image file you see here, or I can record an ISO image file, and all I have to do is browse again, browse to D, open the ISO image file, press start, it will record it. This is what you'll get. We actually did it. Here it is. It's recorded.
Voila.
This is actually the one I did. I have a cable modem, so I was able to download this and from the Linux Mandrake site, and I burn it, and that is Mandrake 7. Actually, I see there's a new one, 7-2, so I have to get on there and download it. But that's the easiest way to install Linux if you don't want. Now, for $1.98, you can buy this from Cheap Bytes or Linux Mall.
Oh, but it's so much. You feel like you've accomplished so much more. It took me 3 days to download this image.
Isn't that wild? The guy's downloading it for 2 days. So that's what it is. And now this is not an ISO file on here. This is the reconstitute, just like the CD they made in France.
All right.
They dehydrated it. I downloaded it, rehydrated it, burned it on here.
Well, merci, la porte.
Brown sugar and cinnamon, delish.
Okay. Well, let's ask Clint, who's joining us on the ZDTV3Com Netcam Network from College Station, Texas. How you doing, Clint?
Real good.
You at Texas A&M or?
Yes, I'm at A&M.
You're an Aggie.
Aggie. What's your major?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh,
excellent.
That's a great place. By the way, let me just show you. I opened that CD, and you see now we see folders and files, not a .iso file, because we burned it. So what can we do for you, Clint?
Right now I have a 2X CD recorder.
Okay.
And I'm wanting to upgrade to 12X.
Great.
So I was wondering how reliable are the burns, and do you have to have special CDs that are rated for that speed?
Oh, that's an interesting question. We haven't run into any problems with our Mach 12, have we?
No. Well, we don't have a Mach 12, but if we had one, we would be very happy with it.
Well, that would explain that, wouldn't it? We've been trying to get the Mach 12.
No, you know what happened? We had a Mach 12 at Comdex, and we were very happy with it. Somebody stole it at Comdex. We've lost our Mach 12.
Oh.
We have a Rocket 8. Which is the Smart Mach 12 there are 2 or 3 companies now making 12Xs. Smart and Friendly. I think Plex Store makes one. I think I've read now recently somebody else is doing it. This is the old Smart and Friendly 8X. A couple of things, Clint. You do want media rated for 12X, okay? But I just was in CompUSA, box of 50 media that goes all the way up to 12X. It was less than $1 a disc. I think it was $39.
So it's pretty much any kind of new media coming out now should be able to handle the 12X.
It should say on it 12X. Don't use one that says 8X, but if it says 12X on it, that'll be good. And it's not. I've noticed that they're not that expensive. It's not like you're paying $20 a disc. The other thing is reliability, as always, depends, of course, on you more than on the drive. But our experience was good with it, and I think these Smart and Friendly rockets are great. I did a couple of 6-minute burns with the 12X.
Oh.
I mean, just amazing how quickly that thing burns.
Is IDE fast enough for that, or do you have to have a special, like a SCSI connection?
They sell it in IDE, and I asked them specifically. You know, I would prefer SCSI mainly because SCSI is bus mastered, and it doesn't. You know, if the CPU gets busy, it'll continue to burn.
And you won't have a coaster.
Right.
Right.
But I asked them. I said, guys, you're putting out a 12X now on an IDE because the internal is IDE, and they said, no, we've tested it. We feel on the modern machines they're reliable. My recommendation, though, is not do anything else while you're doing the burn. But you know what? It takes, get this, 6 minutes to burn a whole CD.
Oh.
So it's not so hard to give up the computer for 6 minutes. Just go get a cup of coffee, come back,
maybe,
it's done.
But, you know.
I don't know about Clint. So, yeah, I mean, until we get one, I've been dying to get one. Because we lost the first one, they won't give us another one. So, these things happen.
Maybe if you plug them, they'll give you another one.
I'm not plugging them because I haven't. Because I only tried it at Comdex. Good results at Comdex. We had good results with the 8X. I haven't heard a thing wrong with the 12X. I suspect it's going to be fine. But again, we haven't. You know, we don't have extensive experience with it. I do know that you want to use that high-speed media. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, by the way, do look closely on at least the Smart and Friendly. If you get the external, it has a bundle of software that's just mind-blowing bundle of software. I think Louderback might actually have bought one of those 12Xs. I'll have to. No, when he comes back, he's on vacation. When he comes back, we'll ask him.
Okay.
Thanks, Clint.
Oh, well, thank you.
Go Aggies.
Clint. All right, coming back, folks, we're going to have closing thoughts and parting shots and the screensavers.
And it's time for lunch.
All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Screensavers. Take a peek up there on your screen, and you see thus far the bulk of you say that nope, Intel is not yet giving up on Microsoft. All is not lost.
Not lost.
Intel.
It doesn't work.
Microsoft.
They don't have a sound.
Apple.
What is the Microsoft sound?
You know he's not going to do it. I think it's that whole like where do you want to go today thing they do at the top of what?
I'm rich.
Cha-ching. All right, let's just, this
Email.
was really great.
Good.
I don't want to read. This is from Roy. Oh, this is from Justin and Brandy. They say, hey, what's up, pet cats? I got a few questions for you two. My girlfriend and I are both interested in computers. She's just begun to work with them while I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Cool.
She wants to know anything we have on helping her with the basics of computing. This is very cool. She doesn't want anybody to help her. She wants to figure it out herself.
That's the way to do it. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Totally great.
Trust me. Now, I'm interested in pursuing computers as a career. Maybe one day I'll host a show on ZDTV. Okay, you can stop laughing.
No, we're not laughing.
But really, where can I find more advanced information? Justin, we are going to send you a netcam, sir. And when you've got it all up and running and ready, you get to co-host the show.
I'm taking the day off.
From your netcam. No, you're hanging out, too. You're going to be with us on the air co-hosting the show. So there's your career. Now, you see, did we laugh?
No, we didn't laugh.
Are you scared now? Don't be nervous. We won't bite.
Seriously, we're living a dream, and it is a wonderful dream. Go for it. You got to go for your goals, and all you got to do is learn about computers. Have go to school. Get a good education.
Read lots.
Read lots. David writes this from Crown Point, Indiana. I found this is good. I found on my computer Paint Shop Pro 6.1, latest version. Major system resource hog doesn't put them back. So we found yet another culprit. We're looking for these resource hogs. What is it that people are using? Now, remember, that's the #2 download.
Oh, that's true.
On the hot file sites. It is widely used. It's a brand new program. Maybe that's one of the reasons.
I'm still interested in your theory about the
super large hard drives.
Because so many people are getting huge hard drives, and many of them are not partitioning them because they're calling us and asking us how to do it.
Could be that.
Partition those big hard drives if you're having that problem. Tell us how that works.
Paul writes, biggest resource consumer on my meager machine has been Microsoft Office 2000. First install, dropped resources to 45%. He disabled Microsoft Office Startup in his startup folder.
Do that.
That is a big. What that does
huge.
is that makes Office load faster, but it does it, as we said, by leaving stuff in memory.
You totally don't want to do that.
I wonder if we have any more people with solutions on the resourcing, because that's keep sending those. This is a great. We'll share this with everybody, and eventually, I think we're going to get a pretty good handle on why these resources are disappearing. Jason from Boston, with the release of Windows 2000, 2 weeks away, I want to set up my system to boot Windows 2000, 98, and Linux. How do you do that? Pretty easy. Make 3 partitions. You almost have to use Windows 2000's boot manager. Let it choose between Windows 98 and itself, and then you can add Linux as a third line in that boot.ini file, and then have a triple boot.
Cool. Hey, this one's from Ferruccio and Sharon. This is great. 2600, the name of the hacker mag we were talking about yesterday. 2600 hertz was the frequency made by a toy whistle in a Captain Crunch box. A phone freaker, good guess, discovered that blowing the whistle in a phone handset would open up access to the switch.
That freaker's name was John Draper. His nickname Captain Crunch.
Oh my goodness.
I've wrestled him. That's it for this edition of the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
I'm Kate Patello. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Screensavers. Enjoy your oatmeal.